What do you think the impact of the ETF is on the forward fundamentals of Bitcoin?
Well, I mean, it's just a structural up move. So you said 4x is what it is?
Yeah,
so that would be 200,000, 240 from 60 today?
Yeah, 200,000 over the 18 months from the halving.
Yeah, so I think that's reasonable. I mean, if you think about it, it's only, what, 3-4x? I mean, it's not that big a deal for Bitcoin and certainly for assets in this space. Yeah. I mean, historically, it's just the numbers are now getting really big, you know, trillions.
The world's largest cryptocurrency by market cap is trading above $70,000 after scoring its highest daily close in 10 days on Monday. An uptick during the first Wall Street trading session for the week offered a change of tone for Bitcoin and the spot Bitcoin ETFs, with the leading crypto asset gaining almost $5,000 on the day. The spot Bitcoin ETFs, which saw red flow days throughout last week, are now back in the green with net inflows of $15 million recorded on Monday. According to a chart provided by Farsight Investors, a London-based investment management company, Fidelity's FBTC, led the pack with $261.8 million in inflows. BlackRock's IBIT came in at $35.5 million, and GBTC recorded $350.1 million in outflows. Despite the tumultuous market environment of the past week, the spot Bitcoin ETFs have made a comeback, with many more comebacks expected as we move closer to the halving event in April. Skybridge Capital's Anthony Scaramucci and Dan Tapiero of 10T Holdings recently sat for a live panel discussion at the 2024 Digital Asset Summit in London. Tapiero, a renowned macro investor with over 3 decades of experience, makes the macro case for Bitcoin, describing it as the best asymmetric upside opportunity he has seen in 30 years. According to Tapiero, switching from traditional asset classes like the S&P and store of value assets like gold was fairly easy because of his understanding of the macro environment and how doomed fiat currencies have become. With top stock indexes down by 99% compared to Bitcoin, it became a no-brainer to make the final switch to the new world, and Tapiero has never looked back since. As a result of the very favorable macro backdrop, with central banks set to start cutting rates and printing money in earnest, the unprecedented demand from the spot Bitcoin ETFs, and the coming halving event, Anthony and Tapiero are particularly bullish on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in 2024 and beyond. We will now bring you clips from the discussion as both men make the best macro case for investing in cryptocurrencies in 2024. Please watch, share, and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Thanks, and enjoy the video.
It's easy and sort of boring a little bit. I mean, the ETF, you know, everyone's heard a lot about it, but it's, you know, you've onboarded literally tens of trillions of dollars of value sitting in global equity accounts that can now just push a button and own Bitcoin. So it's as if Coinbase, in fact, overnight, you know, added 100 million MAUs or whatever it is. And I think it's a very powerful trend. It's the first inning of it. I have, you know, many investors, very sophisticated, tens of millions of dollars in my fund. And they've said to me, you know, guys in their 50s, 60s, I'm not going to open up an account on Coinbase or Kraken. And by the way, I'm just going to wait for the ETF. This is for years they've been saying this. I want to see it in my stock account. I want my broker to look at it. I mean, it's crazy, but it's the American investor's nature. And so I think it continues for a long time. And we haven't seen such anything that's been so concentrated from the demand side. You know, it's like there's like a little bridge, and the entire U.S. wealth management world is trying to cross this little bridge into the new world. Even if you don't understand it, it's the old Wences Casares idea, get off zero, which is to say that you don't understand it, you don't know what's going on here, but do you really want to have zero exposure? Why don't you just put 1% in, dip your toe? And so if everyone's dipping their toe at the same time,
a lot of money.
Right, and I think that's what's going on. There's a natural progression. People buy Bitcoin initially, they see it Hopefully it moves up. They have it in their account. Maybe they forget about it. It's doing something. Then they look at Ethereum, and then that's usually the next one. And then people start investigating the space more deeply. I had in 2019, so I chair the investment committee of a school, just, charitably. And it's actually quite a large endowment. And I convinced the committee to put 1% of the endowment. And it took me a while. And there's some very well-known people on this committee, and they're, running major banks. And, these are guys who've known me, for 30, actually more, 40 years. And they're like, Dan, we know you, we love this. Anyway, it took me 2 hours, and I had some help as well from another person to convince them to put 1% of the endowment and into Bitcoin and ETH. And we did in the first half of 19. The 5 million went to 58 million. Everyone was trying to, sell, and they were like, oh my goodness, this has blown out the performance of the endowment, the best performing high school endowment in the US. And then it went down to 13. And, Dan, what did you do to us? Still up, at 2x. It's now, I don't know, over 60 million. And everyone knows I haven't gotten a single message on it yet, because I said, look, we're going to buy it and we're going to hold it for 10 years. And I don't want to hear about it for 10 years.
In a previous interview, Anthony made a 400% increase case for Bitcoin before the cycle ends in 2025. In what he described as a data-driven prediction derived from previous cycles, Anthony said he expects Bitcoin to increase by 400% from its price on the day of the halving. In the interview with Reuters, the former White House Director of Communications said, "Wherever the price is on the day of the halving in April, multiply it by 4, and it will reach that price in the next 18 months." When he made that statement earlier this year, Bitcoin was trading just above $40,000 per coin, and Anthony predicted that prices would peak at $170,000 next year. With Bitcoin now trading above $70,000, Anthony and Tapiero have predicted that the peak will be at least $200,000 in 2025, maybe even going as high as $280,000, all things remaining equal. Let us know your thoughts about this prediction as we bring you more clips from the live panel discussion.
I was in this ballroom in 1985. I was eating prawns. They were terrible. I was a student at the London School of Economics. I was living in Paddington. And to make a phone call to my parents, I had to call them on Wednesdays because that was like Prince Spaghetti Day. And so I had to call my mother on a Wednesday, let her know I was safe and blah, blah. And I had to get a phone card, and I had to punch in the numbers, and it was $5 a minute to make the call. And today it's $0 a minute. You're transacting with your bank, and I don't know what they're charging you, or maybe you have a lot of money in your bank so they're not charging you, but the average person is either unbanked or they're getting hit with a lot of fees. But over the Lightning Network or over the blockchain, like the phone system, it's going to zero. And if you don't see that, okay, but I want you to see it because that's where the future is going to be. The same way in 1985, the future changed as a result of the innovations related to the internet. In January, Robbie Mitchnick, I don't know if anybody knows who he is, but he was on the Bitcoin project at Blackstone. And I ran into Larry Fink in the Four Seasons Hotel, Al Mariana Island in Abu Dhabi. And this was Abu Dhabi Finance Weeks. This is probably November of 22, maybe October, something like that. And I'm in the lobby with him, and he says, hey, you like Bitcoin? I said, I do. He goes, oh, I think Bitcoin sucks. Larry Fink. I just made this big investment in Circle. I love stable coins. I said, okay. I said, you have to do more homework on this because anybody that does the homework, anybody that does the Tapiero-like fundamental homework, it's a one-way ticket towards the asset. You're not doing the homework and saying, oh, I'm not buying the asset. And so Larry, to his credit, did the homework, sends Robbie Mitchnick to see me. Robbie says to me, this place is very bureaucratic. If I don't get outside money into this BlackRock Bitcoin Trust, they're going to kill the project. And I think you know my partner, Brett Messing, right? So he's our chief investment officer. And so he wired Robbie $10 million Skybridge was the first outside money into the BlackRock Bitcoin Trust prior to its application filing for the ETF.
Well done.
And yeah, but I'm not patting ourselves on the back. I'm just telling you, it was at the bottom of the market. Nobody wanted it. BlackRock was defensive. It is the largest ETF launch in the history of BlackRock. Again, apply context. You've had good days in your life and you've had bad days in your life. But when you're having the bad day, you got to keep going. You know, we didn't know if we were going to stay in business, not stay in business. I'm in Brioni today, but I thought, man, I'm heading for a barrel and suspenders. I mean, this could be really bad for me and my family. But when you're in, what did Churchill say? When you're in hell, when you're going through hell, keep going. And believe, if you've done the homework, you've got to believe in yourself. And you got to make that bet.
Meanwhile, a British computer expert who inadvertently lost a hard drive containing 7,500 Bitcoin is suing the Newport City Council to permit him to search the city's landfill where he believes the storage divide is buried. According to reports, James Howells, a British computer expert, would have been at least $500 million richer today if his ex-partner had not accidentally discarded a hard drive where he stored 7,500 Bitcoin. Howells had previously written to the city council to permit him to search the landfill, offering 25% of the cryptocurrency asset's value as a reward. However, the council rejected his request, citing potential negative environmental effects on the surrounding area. Howells, with the help of a group of hedge fund investors, has now initiated legal action to compel the council to grant his request. The investors will finance the lawsuit and provide a team of search specialists and data recovery engineers. In return, they will receive a portion of the lost Bitcoin if they are successfully recovered. At current prices, the Bitcoin on the hard drive is worth around $525 million. However, Howells expects prices to appreciate further before the year ends. In a recent interview with Daily Mail, he said, "Some experts believe that by the end of the year, the price will rise to $250,000 per coin. That would make my hard drive worth £1.5 million. The council may be happy to leave that in a landfill, but I'm not. They want me to go away and forget about it. But how could anyone? Why should I back down? All I want is a chance to get my property back." Do you think Howells should get a chance to recover his lost hard drive, despite the council's concerns about the impact that would have on the environment? Please drop your replies, as well as your comments on Anthony and Tapiero's discussion, in the comments section below. If you have yet to do so, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.